World War II was a global event that forever changed the course of history. Although the battles were fought in far-off countries, the war left an imprint on the city of New Westminster, British Columbia, which shaped who workers were and how they thought of the world. Reclaiming the New Westminster Waterfront interviewed workers from many different industries who recalled vivid memories associated with World War II and the long-lasting effects afterwards. Many longshoremen were veterans who had returned from their time in the service.
Well, drinking with the old timers, these are the guys that were in the war.
Mm-hmm.
And they were tough. I mean, us young guys, we thought we were pretty tough when it came to in the bar. We thought we were pretty tough. You never fooled around with those guys. No, they were really tough. And if you sat and drank with them on the docks or anything else, they looked after you. You never had to worry about getting in trouble or whatever, because they looked after you. And they drank every day. Mm-hmm. These guys, they drank every day, and you go in the sun shack with them, and they were good. They were tough. I remember Baxter. He was this guy. He was, the bully in town. And he going to show Baxter a thing or two. And Baxter said, "Okay, son, let's go." He says, "I'll tell you one thing. I don't know how to hurt you. All I know is how to kill you." Because Baxter was a commando, going behind the lines and kill whoever.
Wow.
He was ordered to kill.
And would they tell you stories and stuff while you were sitting around and drinking and chatting?
Yeah. Lots of their own stories there. A lot of the guys were in Hong Kong, and they were prisoners of war for the Japanese for 5 years or something, and they hated the Japanese, And one time a ship came in, and I didn't realize it because I just didn't look, and we went on the ship, and they'd flown the Canadian flag upside down. You ever put it on just by mistake? Yeah. And not one, and I was saying not one longshoreman would go on that ship at all until they put the flag right.
Did they eventually fix it?
Oh yeah, they fixed it, or else there'd be no work.
Was there ever a tension between the Japanese crew members and the old timers that say were in the war?
Yeah, there was. Mulvaney, I don't know what. There was a bunch of Japanese around the hatch. And he came over and he said something in Japanese, and they went. He never saw him. He didn't come on deck at all. Oh, wow. I don't know what he said. I remember one foreman trying to get Mulvaney to work, and he says, "Look, for 5 years, a Jap with a bayonet couldn't get me to work. You think you're going to get me to work?"
Oh my!
They went through really, really hell, Mm-hmm. Other ones, they came out of there, and they were. One guy, he was telling me, he was 18 when he got caught in Hong Kong, was it, or something like that. And he weighed, at 18 he was in good shape, and he weighed 180 some pounds. And he says, and I was in good shape. And he came out of there 5 years later 87 pounds.
This port had a lot of return debts. Well, there was Keith Burton. He was captured by the Japanese
in Hong Kong.
In Hong Kong, yeah. Keith Burton. He was Duffy Elmer Peterson. He was captured.
What about Mulvaney? There was a character.
Len Mulvaney.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was captured. No, he was in the service.
Yeah,
he was in the service. I don't think he was captured. But
I remember an incident. I don't know if you've ever ran into it, but I was going to work one day. And I wasn't paying attention. So I was walking up the gangplank and I hear, "Where the hell are you going?" Well, a little stronger. I said, "To work." "Get your ass off of that gangplank." He says, "Look up." They weren't flying our flag. They were flying the Red Sun.
Oh, the Japanese ship, yeah.
Oh yeah, these guys. And that was, that's...
Was that Keith Burton?
Yeah, it was Keith. That was in the mid-60s or something,
Well, the story went, what I can remember was Keith Burton, when he signed up, he was over 200 pounds. When he come home, he was 93.
Yeah.
So I guess he was in a concentration camp, I think, for 4 years. And I can remember when Japanese ships started coming in, and they always had one of the crew members down below watching us. And Keith Burton would turn to him and in in their language and tell them to fuck off or I'm going to cut your balls off. And the guy would look at him and up the ladder he went. And then chief mate would come down and he'd tell him the same thing. Up the ladder he went. Because, you could speak their language.
Yeah, he learned it.
And he'd been tortured by them,
Yeah, a lot of guys are tough. I remember Bob Baxter.
Bob Baxter, yeah. He was a commando.
He'd grab you, you knew it.
And another guy he didn't want to push too fucking hard because he would pop you back.
Grab you by the shoulder and put you on your knees.
Get a
Vice grip.
vice for a hand grip. Yeah.
The people that made up the workforce then were a lot of veterans from World War II who had been on the waterfront before and came back. A lot of people from logging camps, which were their own horror story themselves before that. And a lot of guys from the prairies, farmers for farmer families that worked hard. Mm-hmm. So there was a lot of strong people, both mindset and strength.
Right.
You had to actually see some of the strength that happened with some of the guys that. I've always been reasonably strong. My dad was a very strong man, and he would be just merely ordinary amongst the guys on the waterfront.